Awesome guys, welcome to this next part 3 of molding and casting Clone Trooper helmets. As you can see, the soft mold has already been created. I let it sit overnight so it had time to fully cure, and I ended up trimming the bottom. It was a little bit long at the bottom, so trimmed it a little bit. So today we will be making a hard shell. I will be using Freeform Air from Smooth On, and essentially I'll just be making 2 halves on each helmet. I'll be split right at the middle, and that's what I'm gonna do. The next part, and the reason I'm outside, is I'm gonna be spraying them with Ease Release 200 so that I can actually pull the freeform off the silicone. Fair warning, once you spray this on the silicone, you cannot add any more layers. It simply will not stick. So something to keep in mind. I have literally used all of my Rebound 25. I used a gallon amount to perfectly and comfortably make 2. So I don't have any more to use. So I'm very comfortable using this and will not be needing to add any more. So I'm gonna spray a good coat of this over the entire thing. I don't know if it needs to sit. I'm gonna let it sit a little bit before I start adding the freeform, but I'm gonna cover the entire helmets with this, and then we'll start working on the mother shell. All right, here we are. We're about to start making the mother mold. Like I said, I'm using Freeform Air. Got parts A and B. I got the gallon size. Should be enough to make the hard shell for both. I have a Sharpie. I'm just gonna draw a line down the middle so I have reference of where I'm stopping, because I'm gonna do 1 half at a time. Full cure time is 24 hours. I don't believe I need to let it fully cure after doing one side to start the other. I've sprayed both of them down with a thick coat of Ease Release 200. And after I do the first half, I'm gonna do like a little lip. It's gonna stick out like a few inches so I can drill some holes and put some bolts and screws to secure it even more so. But yeah, I need to spray the other side before I start the second side, so that those come apart. Yeah, respirator, gloves for protection, and I have a little stick to kind of just press it, make sure that the clay sits nicely around the silicone mold that I already have. So yeah, I'll do a time lapse so you will be able to see more or less how the process goes. And check out my makeshift table. I'm not allowed to have a shelf or a table out here, so I have my own Lego buildable table. That'll also work as my mixing table. We're gonna mix these in equal parts. So I'm gonna either do baseball sized or golf ball sized, mix them together with the gloves on, mask on, and then apply them to the helmet. So let's get started. Awesome, so there we go. I've done the first half of both of the helmets. Like I said, I was gonna do a lip so I can screw some hardware in. Haven't decided where I'll do that yet, but I'll have 4 bolts for each. Probably one back here, one right here, one in the middle right here, and maybe another one right there. So I need to let this harden a little bit. Like I said, the full cure time is 24 hours, but I don't think I need to wait that long in order for me to start on the second half. Once it is hard enough, I'm gonna spray on the ease release again over this, but then make sure I also get that middle part. And then I'll let that side harden as well. And I might drill the holes before the 24 hours. I might not, I don't know. This is my first time, we'll figure it out. Depending on how it goes, I'll let you guys know what I think you should do or what you shouldn't do. So, as you can see, did the first half. Sharpie didn't really work, so I just kind of eyeballed it. But yeah, so I'm gonna let these harden a little bit for a few hours. I'll come back, and if they're hard enough, I'll spray them down, wipe some of this dust off, and we'll get started with the second part. All right, here we are, 4 hours later. And it appears to be hard enough. So I'm gonna spray some Ease Release 2000 over this. Make sure I get that whole side. And then I'm gonna cover the entire second side with the material. And I'll let it sit overnight so both sides can harden. And then I'll screw the holes and add the bolts. And then once I do that, it will be taking the whole thing apart. So yeah, here we go. Awesome, both sides have been applied. You can kind of tell which side has yet to cure. But yeah, that's basically it. Make sure to get a lip on both sides. So I'll let these sit for a few hours, and either later tonight or tomorrow morning I'll go and drill those holes just through that lip and secure the washer. And then I will for sure wait the full 24 hours before I try to take it apart. So maybe tomorrow night I'll try to cast my first helmet. We will see. But yeah, looking pretty good. I'm excited. Not sure how they'll turn out, but super satisfying following these steps. Awesome, so here we are. It's been 24 hours, so they've fully cured. I have attached the bolts. I did 4 on each. And now I will try to take them apart. Wish me luck. Well, there you go. They're out. You have the silicone mold right here and the hard shell right there. Not sure if you can tell in the time lapse, but as I was taking off the phase 2 one, as the second piece popped off, a chunk of the shell cracked off. So it is currently gluing. It's just a small piece, so it shouldn't be too big of an issue. But yeah, those are out, they're intact. You probably saw the hardware, so I have those bolts and fly nuts. And yeah, that's basically it. My tip based on doing the 2, when I sprayed the Ease Release 200, I was working on this helmet first. And as I was spraying down in between the first and second shell layers, as I was spraying it on the first half so that the second half wouldn't stick to it, I sprayed it, then sprayed the other one, and then went back and started on the shell without letting it sit. The can, and I saw this afterwards, it says you need to let it sit for at least 5 minutes. This one sat for at least 20, 25, whereas this one was probably like maybe 3 minutes, the time that it took to spray this. Maybe it was 5 minutes, but this one sat for a lot longer with the Ease Release on. And this was 100 times easier to remove the hard shell because of that. So my biggest tip, Ease Release in between doing the 2 shells, make sure you spray it and just let it sit. Let it sit for a while. And I was really generous, and I think that helped. So I used just over an entire can for initial spray overs, did the first shell, did a generous nether layer with a lot on the free foam and a little bit around the edge so that it just wouldn't stick. And then make sure you let it sit. So yeah, and once again, baby powder is what I used to help facilitate taking it off, and I'm gonna use it to help facilitate taking out molds. So that's basically it. That will be it for this video. Catch me in the next one as I attempt to reassemble the molds and cast some helmets, and we'll see how they turn out. All right, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.